This isekai could have been hot garbage for most of the episode, and for this one reason alone, I would have recommended you the first episode. Luckily, the entire episode is a banger and a type of hilarious nature I wasn't expecting. But I honestly can't remember if I've seen this before, or at least done in such a beautiful, self-aware way. They made a canon in-universe reason for why Truck-kun exists in isekai anime. For this anime in particular, Truck-kun is the selector. It's the tool that these, other worlds basically use in order to select their heroes. And as they say, kind of like the dark, depressed people, they end up getting sideswept by Truck-kun. That's how they get selected. Before he even got Truck-kun, I thought to myself, it'd be kind of hilarious. It's clear that these two, lovebirds are about to jump in the river and take their life, but I'm waiting for Truck-kun to sideswipe them Kool-Aid Man style and say, oh yeah. And then quite literally, as Truck-kun is about to sideswipe them, the MC Sensei says, oh yeah. Now granted, it's not exactly like that, but it pretty much sounds like that, and I was laughing just from that. And when they confirm that Truck-kun is like, you have been selected, like you were chosen to come to this world, what are you talking about? I just got hit by a truck. Yeah, that's how we select you. It was at that moment I knew we were in for a gem of a show. And just dealing with the ultimate edgelord who literally just wants to... The dude walks around popping pills. You end the episode with him taking a nap in a coffin and making the goddess priest woman carry him to the next town over. The dude is a scumbag, like he legitimately just doesn't value life, and the fact that he's already built a harem is baffling. But this might actually unironically be the best isekai of the season if this continues on the trend that this first episode set up. Full live reactions over on Patreon if you want some full and good thought to any of these episodes. Gonna be over there exclusively. Just so funny. If my dear friend Nokotan wasn't airing this season, this would be the funniest show I'm watching this season, 100%, no questions asked. There's something so interesting about a dude who just like, it's pathetic in a lot of ways, just because he's like, his whole purpose is like, I just wanted to die. My whole life, I've just tried to die. This, that, and the third. And the fact that he convinced probably some poor girl to also off herself. I feel like what's gonna happen is like his mission right now is like he doesn't want to die because he wants to find, the girl he was with, and then they can double themselves off. What's probably gonna happen is she's gonna be like probably living it up and not wanting to do that anymore, and he'll eventually have to find a new purpose in life. Or it might be the reverse, maybe he'll actually find a purpose and she'll want to still do it and he doesn't. Either way, one of those two I think is going to be likely. But it's just so funny because you're dealing with a woman who every time like someone gets summoned, they're just not, like, they're arrogant, they're egotistical, they're selfish, like, she's just so defeated, and then the person who's like objectively weak, like he had like 1 health point, I'm pretty sure. I think you could push him over and he'd die. It's all the poison that he'd be injecting in his body through cigarettes and pills that makes him an absolute toxic mess that can kill tree monsters, apparently. Like, it's not often you'll watch a show where some cat girl is getting felt up Reki Kawahara style, and my boy's like, I tried to help you, that sucks. Oh, I got a noose around my neck. This is lovely. And then he just gets disappointed that once again, a failed attempt. When I read the synopsis to this show, I was expecting like, oh, it's gonna be interesting. Like, he gets summoned to a world but is no longer wanted. There's gonna be some sort of maybe revenge tale. Like, I was expecting a serious story. So when the comedy starts hitting and I'm like, oh yes. It just hits my funny bone. And as someone who loves this medium, good and bad alike, the fact that it almost feels like, it's like, you take these ideas, like, any anime fan, whether they like this genre or not, will meme Truck-kun, because it's funny how often that, for whatever reason, every anime just decides, like, 6 out of 10 times, Truck-kun's gonna be the reason a character gets sent to another world. Sometimes they just randomly get teleported, sometimes, just they get stabbed by saving someone, right? But, like, in general, Truck-kun is it's the fact that they were so serious about it, too. Like, no, that's our way to determine. Within, like, 2 seconds, like 2 minutes max, of being in this new world, he's popping pills like they're Skittles. and he's basically just like, let me die. And she has to purify him and save his life. It's just so over the top. And it's so good. Like, what they were showing with just Sensei as a character was so enjoyable. Then you add in Catgirl, who I honestly hope we never actually learn the name of, and he just keeps either calling out to his long-lost love or just says other names and she gets frustrated that, you know, she thinks he's saying it to her. The goddess priestess person, just adding in those three, the fact that we already have a love triangle and he has no interest in either of them, and they're basically fighting over, you know, like, if you watch after the credits, there's like 5 minutes left after the credits play, or the opening plays, I should say. The way their VAs get so intense and hostile, I'm like, where is this like, the VA work was good up to that point, but they were getting feisty with each other. It's just like, there's so many funny moments. The canon reason why Truck-kun exists. The defeated woman being like, oh shit, you actually don't belong here. And he's like, adios, amigo. The fact that he just, every step of the way, like, there's 3 times in this episode alone that he tries to himself. With the jumping in the river, the pills, and the noose scene. And the fact that you end the episode with him so boldly saying, wake me up when we get to the town over. Okay, sure, if you want a nap, whatever, that doesn't make you a bad person. It's a little weird you want to sleep in the coffin, but you know what, whatever, you malnutritionist bitch. They then have to carry him, and granted, does she look happy to do it? Sure, but goddamn, how does this sickly bastard who looks malnutritioned, has the worst personality, end up with this harem? I don't know, but I look forward to seeing the 100 girls who probably end up joining this harem, and him just so unenthusiastically going about it. I'm convinced, though, he probably has an endless bottle of pills, because he's already gone through, I feel like, half that bottle already, and I feel like he's going to be popping them pills non-stop. What an episode. I was not expecting to like this show as much as I ended up liking this first episode. Very fun art style, comedic direction completely on point, hits my funny bone, and honestly, it's just different. It's just such, like, it's so silly and stupid, but it rolls with it so boldly, and it's like everyone's on everyone in this world's on one wavelength, and then he's on his own. And for some reason, people are, like, being pulled towards him in his toxic-ass, poisoned-ass body. It's fantastic. I am so ready for episode 2. Let me know what you thought of this episode down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new around here. Of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll give you a video shout out. Alrighty, so today we have Sean. You hear Sanchez, Damian Shezik, Big Duval, Adler 2704, and we also have Demi Bear. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.